wasn't working that whole time, which is really embarrassing. And now I'm... Oh, it's because I restarted my computer. It should have been on my... It should have worked on my video. Had a mini heart attack there. Yeah, we can fit way more tables in this way. Let's see. Boom. Then we'll get these small chair setups. Might be a little too cramped to have people walking through there, especially because there's going to be an aquarium window here. But we might put like some we'll put a nice table there. And now you probably want this whole viewing area here open. Alright, and then we'll grab an actual chair. I can't hear anything for some reason. Hold on. There's no game audio for some reason. Oh, that's why. That's awkward. Okay. Anyways, let's get straight back into it. We're still dreading. We'll just get these slightly tipped around like this. Not have them perfectly neat, but for the most part. All these chairs. Put in here. Let's see. Maybe we'll have a chair here. So they took a chair from there, brought it over there. Hold on one second, guys. Alright, let's get back to doing this. We'll actually put an extra chair there. Maybe this group had an extra person, even. I like that. And this one will just have our normal 6. As for lighting, I kind of want to give us a neon glow in here. I kind of feel like that's pretty suitable for an aquarium. Let's see. We should do explore mode. And this should probably be like a cool blue. We're gonna try and go for like an organic shape. Wonder if we can get by with that. Let's see. Not those, these. Oh, we gotta turn all these on. Let's see. On, not off. I'm so used to turning these off. We should probably change the time to night. That'll probably help us more than anything. What am I standing on? I guess I was backing up into chairs. Let's see. Boom, boom. This isn't really the color that I wanted them to look like at night. It's probably more like it. Let's see. And then I feel like this is a perfect place for another bubble. Form a closed bubble like so. Fighting with chairs. Fighting with chairs. That's nice. I like that. Darn. Okay, let's see. That's and then out here This is a little brighter, honestly, than I wanted it to be. Ah, that would be why. So let's go for like a softer orange glow. Okay, and then inside will be the modern. So then we just got to make sure that all of these lights need to be on always. I mean, I guess the best way to figure that out is there's one. There's one. They are just a tad darker. Okay, so we got these lights in. Now we actually have to fasten them to the ceiling. The cicadas are going mad right now. So I want these to be as invisible as possible, but these have seemed to be quite invisible. Which is nice for the guest perspective, but is a little trickier for us to work with. Alright, let's see. We'll probably just need one more, like right here. Alright, and then we'll exit that mode, and yeah. We'll need to lower these. And we'll probably put like a sign or something up here saying this is a 21 up zone. Alright, so let's go back to what it would look like at night when we're having like an event or something. So yeah, we need something in the floor. So what we'll do is we'll have this always on. Alright, then let's grab this. This will be pretty nice to just be able to... So normally, there wouldn't be any chairs really over this line, but because we've done it this way, of where some people have kind of grouped up some chairs, which is just what's going to happen through standard operations. There's a few chairs over the line, but that's okay. My son just woke himself up, so I might have to attend to him, but we'll see. This will be that 21 and up zone. My eyes! Okay, and then we'll just bring this like so. Not even that, we'll just take... Okay, let's see. Alright, and then we'll just bring this along. And then we just bring this all the way this way. Yeah, I might have to get my son in just a little bit, we'll see. This is just gonna help anyone who's coming here at night. Let's see. Then we bring something like this. There's something about the juxtaposition of this like ancient battleship. Well, it's not ancient, but this old battleship and the neon that I think is really cool. Hopefully that will come across nicely. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Get this all in line. Grab it. Bring it over to here. Well, guess we gotta do that, but no big deal. So, we don't have enough light over here, so we'll probably do something like grab one of these. Ooh, what if we had something like, oh, this is too large for all the other bubbles, so I will, however, grab this whole thing. Grab one there, grab one there. Let's see if we can just kind of now that we've thought about it, we can bring these two at the viewing gallery and then these in between the boilers. And now let's see what it looks like at night. Nice, though I think hey, Simply Carly. How's it going? How is it going? We are working on our aquarium in the little bar area. Nice. So that's what it would look like at night. And then during the day, that's much more standard. We probably need some trash cans in here somewhere. Also, this should be our exit. So that's how we would get down there, which we're gonna have to figure out next. Thank you. I really like it as well. I like it quite a bit. And then this is the sandbar. So you'd get your drinks in here. It's a small bar, but it would mainly be for private events and then the occasional guest. And so you get a more private sitting area out here, where you can look at the pelicans and seagulls. Probably couldn't bring any alcoholic. Well, actually, maybe we'll do a sign like this to go here. We need a sign basically saying no alcoholic beverages beyond this point. So no one under the age of 21 can go through there. No alcoholic beverages beyond that point. We'll do the viewing light window for that once we actually get it into the zoo. We should probably work on this right here. Which what we should do is grab my boardwalk set. We're going to just grab a section of this. Just a reminder, you can get this on the workshop. It actually was featured in my video today. And this will just kind of be a guide for us to say, oh, this needs to be wider, or this is the slope that we can go. Oh, that's right, I used these LED balls as screws. Forgot about that. Or bolts. It's gonna be nice when we have bolts as a piece in Planet Zoo 2. Gonna be real nice. Did you see the reveals today, Carly? They sounded really cool. I've got no water in there. In like a minute, I'm gonna need to grab some water because my mouth is a little dry. Really excited because we did get a species revealed today that I will need, well, really two, I think, that I'll need for my recreation project that I'll be doing in Planet Zoo 2. So quite excited about that. So this is, in general, how we're going to construct this. Let's go for some limestone. We're probably going to use the 2x2 panel. And then what we'll do is we'll just grab that. Boom. Hey, how's it going, CJ Tampier? Welcome to the stream. We're building a ramp to get up to our bar area. So we'll start off like so. And we're trying to make sure that we follow actual... What happened there? Trying to make sure that we follow actual ADA guidelines to make sure that this is properly wheelchair accessible. Because we do get to some really cool sections of the aquarium also in the bar, so okay, so now we can go like so. And that would be the proper ramp size. Yeah, so I use modded, so a lot of the species you're going to see are mods. But you can do similar stuff for like the crocodile and such. If you're doing base game only. And this wheelchair ramp you could also do in the base game. But glad to see some new people in Planet Zoo. I assume the news of Planet Zoo 2 is what got you in? Or was it the Steam sale? I think the game was 95% off. My son's still awake. Hopefully he'll put himself back to sleep. Oh, cool. Sweet. Yeah, hopefully today I don't know if we'll be getting any fish in. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create basically a template for the aquarium here, and then I'm going to move it into my actual zoo. Ooh, that was a good neck crack. Gonna move it into my actual zoo to put the actual habitats in later, just because like the water and stuff won't go through a blueprint, so there's no point in me really spending a lot of time working on that when it's not going to transfer over. But so I basically have to finish the aquarium and then get all the habitats in. So maybe we can do that today. I seriously doubt it, considering how slow I am building. But what kind of aquarium are you trying to build? Do you have a particular one you're basing it off of? This one doesn't really have any big influences in its design, I don't think. Not that I can think of. Slightly based off the Florida Aquarium in a few design aspects, but beyond that, not really much. Okay, so that kind of gets us this ramp. We may... Yeah, I think we're gonna need something like this, because I don't really want the wall that you see to be this wooden paneling. That's more part of the ship that we're designing. So we're gonna put limestone all the way over here. So I'll go over kind of how I've designed this aquarium in just a little bit. We just put these wall sections in, and then I'll show you it. And then we'll design like the handrails and stuff. Yeah, so that's the exterior wall. This right here is the interior wall, which we can actually have a buffer between those. Gotcha. There's a mod called the Aquarium pack, if you want to use that. That gives you a whole lot of different faux corals. Like if I go to nature and type in coral, we've got stuff like this. Which I need to check. Now that we've got those walls in, I can kind of show you what our design is. So this is the outside, so the first thing you'd come across would be here. And so you've got a pelican, cormorant, and gull habitat. You'll be able to see them diving underwater. The only ones that really have mods are the cormorants. I'm a little surprised there's no brown pelican mod. But then we might use the lava gull as an American herring gull because I really want to see some stuff flying around in here. I don't know that the cormorants will fly. But then you've also got a seating area. And then you'll trundle along, probably past like some beach she gardens, and you'll come to the Keys to the Future building, which the whole idea is that this is an aquarium for Florida Keys fish. We're going to have... Oh, shoot, I can't remember what we're going to have in here. I think it was sergeant fish? Majors? Sergeant majors. Sergeant majors are going to be schooling in here. I think we're going to have jellyfish and crabs and stuff along the walls here. You'll come in here. You've got your coral reef tank here for the Florida Keys. You'll have a walk-through aviary. You'll come into here for seabirds. And a little touch tank for bonnet heads, which actually we should check. How big are like cow nose rays? Yeah, that will be fine. They didn't really have a bonnet. Okay, whatever. So this would be your coral reef. This would be your seagrass. So like hawksbill sea turtle, chain cat shark, stuff like that. Sandy flats, which is where we have a bunch of stingrays. Open ocean, which is going to be a large tank. I don't know if it's going to be this big. We'll see. Might just come to like there. And then we're going to have a not a saltwater crocodile, but a American crocodile tank that's going to come in like here. Form this R shape, basically. And then you'd be able to walk on top of this, which I just realized we don't have a stairwell to. Because I'd like you to be able to be up here. There's not really going to be much for you to be up here. There's... Should we have this available for guests? I guess they would be able to look over and... the Nexus Mods pack, it should be by Nicholas Linerider, I think. Yeah, I guess you could look... Yeah. It should be in the Aquarium pack. So look for that symbol. It also comes with like these guys, the horseshoe crabs, and the whelk. If y'all will wait 1 minute, I'm going to grab my water. I might also try and put my son down a little bit so that he can go to sleep, hopefully. All right, we are right back. So, I'm trying to decide. I probably do want people to be able to get up here. It's just a question of how. We might just do a lift. That's what we'll do. Yeah, we'll put like a lift on the ground here to go up. Yep. That might be... Where's my dude? Where's little dude? Let's grab you. Gotcha, Carly. No problem. So I do want to raise that just a bit. We want wheelchairs to be able to access it, no problem. Boom. So now we probably need to do a handrail. So we're gonna do the handrail that we have been doing for this whole area. And LED tube. 1 meter piece. That's the right color there. Now these we want always off so that they won't glow in the dark, because that's not really what we're trying to get across here. Let's see, bring that like so. Always useful to have a scale indicator. Tell you, yes, we are going in the right direction, or no, we're not. Thankfully, we are. This design is very simple, but very effective at coming across as a handrail. We'll put a even simpler one on the other side. It's little details like these that kind of sell the whole zoo. And then here we've got our landing. And we'll just bring this over to, like, say here. And then boom. I know this isn't the most exciting part of the build, but doing parts like these is really important to make sure that everything looks good together. Really quite important. And we are making pretty good progress. We are almost done with this side of the handrail, which we'll just have to do the other side, which is actually going to be a whole lot easier. It might be a little trickier at the start, but That's just because it's a handrail against a wall, which I haven't really done. As far as I can think of. Boom, boom. We pull this one here. Grab that. Boom. Now the other side, which should be not too much more difficult. We just grab this side. Well, first off, we should probably actually copy this side over a little bit further. Okay, guys, my son is now crying, so let me get y'all to a nicer place to zone out, and I'll be right back. I say that, and as soon as I say that, he curls himself into a ball and falls asleep. I should have known. It's his MO. We might just bring this like so. We'll see what we're able to do there. So now let's grab all of this. And we're just grabbing the top rail. That's for a reason. And it'll be to like here. So now we've got something like that. The doves are going crazy. And then we take the LED bracket. Let's see. Maybe I'll do every other one, but for now let's just do everyone gets one of these. All right. Unfortunately, these aren't flexi color, but we'll survive. Okay, let's see if we can get this in here. Again, the end result is what we're looking for here. I think I like it like that. That looks good to me. Let's copy this. Let's paste it onto this. We may change that color eventually. Probably will. But for now, we'll make it that color. A little bit more water. Let's see. I should go to the Steam Workshop to see about lifts, elevator, library, Planet Zoo, workshop. I don't know if they'll be called a lift or an elevator. Looks like elevator might be. Elevator pack by Shift C, which I already have installed. That's fun. That. Boom. I think I like it with the closed doors better. Still gotta need to figure out the floor here as well. Probably try and get the roof in just a little bit because come on. And then we just bring this on side over to there. Okay. Hopefully this will intersect nicely with boom. And then we just grab this. We'll really need a floor before we can figure out need a floor before we can figure out the walls too much. See. Boom. Oh, shoot. Hydrate. Oh, okay. More water. Thank you. Kind of shocked me out of not speaking too, so we'll see if we can. Yeah, thank you. Because maybe you could hear me just losing brain cells or whatever. This is a pretty easy solution, I think. We grab limestone, we grab something like this maybe? I like these trims. These trims are super nice. Then we go like here. Make sure we get this at the right spot. And so we need it to go out like 2 lengths. Bring that down. Make sure we drag this like so. Then we grab it like so. And then we make sure we grab all this. Except we didn't grab all of that, so we need to be just a little bit more careful. So boom. Then we will bring that like so. That one really wasn't doing anything. And then boom. So that gets us our elevator out to here pretty nicely. And to keep it in line with our sort of theme, we'll color it with this plaster slash limestone. Maybe it's even better if we bring it up like to here. second. Let's get this going. Alright, so we've got our elevator in there. That's nice. We'll have to do some detailing in here. But that's an issue for another time. Probably soon, but not now. Not now. Now I want to get the roof done for a lot of this, because I feel like that's going to be useful to determine the lighting and what's going to need to go inside. So I feel like the roof and the floor are going to be two very important parts of this build that are going to be super helpful. So I know what I'm kind of wanting to do. So I want these big, so it's the keys to the future, right? So we're going to have this to where this is going to be the shape of the key, and then there's going to be these skylights in this jagged pattern down there. That's how I kind of see this going down. And to not hurt my brain too much, we're probably going to just use like these grid pieces. But those aren't just grid pieces. So you've got this, right? There we go. This is at least a way where we can glass modern wall. Then I need the straight up and down one. I think this is too thick, right? Yeah, that's not the same piece. And that's way too thick. I want something thinner. I guess I could do like the 4x1. Discord ping. Okay, cool. So now I need that 4-meter roof. Let's see. How big is that going to be? Is that going to be obstructive? Nah, I like that. Nah, it's a shame I gotta do the walls like this. Hold on, guys, 1 second. All right, we're back. Let's keep working on this. We'll basically just kind of create the basic form of this and then start really being able to copy it over. But we've got a pretty good shape here, I think. This will just get us to both ends. Boom. So yeah, there we go. And then what we'll do is we'll take the Australian beam, we'll do the large one along the sides. As sort of our main edge. So this will be our kind of major, not axis, but major shape before our frame, one could say even. That's the term. So we just kind of get that in place. Get that in place. And then we're just going to copy this up on over to the top. Make sure we get the same shape over here to the other side. And then basically the exact same thing over here. It's going to be a lot of pieces for the skylight, but it's going to work together quite nicely, I think. Actually, might be a better idea to bring this up. That way we could get this over here, this over here, delete that and then grab this section. Grab this, bring it all the way along here. You're not going to be able to see a ton of this, so I'm gonna just, instead of doing all of our instead of doing them all like this where they're actually really complicated, we're just gonna do big bars on the outside, small bars on the inside. Doesn't need to be any more complicated than that. Just get all these in place, and eventually all this will be that green color you saw up at the front. We might even keep this side panel, but I'm not sure. We'll see. I think I prefer the idea of having a long beam across the side like this. Boom. In fact, I might even want to have more of these. Yeah, I like that. Maybe this is where the other one beam should come to. Yeah, that's probably about right. Do I want vertical beams? I think so. I don't think the strictly horizontal is doing it for me. Alright, so then we'll just grab this section. So we just grab all this. Alright, then we just bring this across. I'm trying to do this as easily as possible. just take all this. Hydration is important. Let's keep it on. This project is getting a little large now that I've come to notice it. By a little, I mean it's gigantor. How many people tall is it? It's about 4 people tall here. And then that's not too crazy. That's not too crazy. Good. So then we're going to grab the right color. Boom. And boom. And now we try and select as much of this as we can. Hold on, we might be golden. So that would put it, let's see if we can put 2 in between. So I think I like that. And that looks like a key, or at least it's starting to. Actually, you know what? We can just... Let's see. All right, now let's actually make sure there's no seam. Boom. Of course, this is all going to need some support, crazy support structures and stuff like that, but I think it might just be easiest to grab all this. I should have. Oh, shoot. But let's make sure that we don't get any of that nasty textures. Fighting. Yeah, I've basically said I think I need the floor, the ceiling to find out what I want to do with the roof or the walls. So this is what we did over here. And I don't want to make the whole floor out of these because that's going to get incredibly laggy. This is already 3,000 points. This is 1,400 points here. Another 500 points pieces. So we're getting piece heavy. The boat is 3,000. This viewing gallery is 1,000. We're getting beefy. It's we want to do things to reduce lag as much as possible, which I was I had a point for. Yes, we don't want to go super crazy with the floor, is what I'm trying to say. So we want viewing windows for sure. We want a big viewing window like right here. So what we'll do is we'll actually just grab this. Yeah, we'll actually grab all of that. And then just bring it forward like so. Then that will be a viewing window. And then we're gonna have a wall here. That goes into that like so. And maybe we'll do the inside wall this color. So now we've got, boom, that's our viewing window. We'll probably enter the bird area there. So we'll deal with that in a bit. We're getting in the very, very piece heavy count. Let me just make sure. I think this will work. Let's just... It's not happy with me. It is not happy with me. It might actually be easier just to load this into Tri-State, because otherwise we might actually crash the game if we do this whole thing in Tri-State and then not. I'm not talking to you, Steven. Yeah, I think we just move this into Tri-State because this right here, the fact that it's taking this long to load in on our lag-free blueprint tester means it's going to be real scary in our big zoo. So without any further ado, let's actually go to our blueprint zoo, and we'll say 2. And we're going to load into Tri-State, and that's going to take us a hot second. And we're going to place this in and hope and pray that it does not crash the game, because I am a bit concerned about that. But how's everyone doing? Everyone's surviving. The Tuesday. It's going to take a couple of minutes for my stuff to load. I've been painting some Agrodon Lancers. I'll see if I can get them to show up decently. Not a ton has been done on them yet. Let me see if I can show off the other unit that I finished. So yeah, they're coming along. I'm trying to get my army painted fully to get some games in. We'll see how that goes. I have no idea how well it focused on the webcam for that, but we can hope. Yep, we're just loading in. Nothing about this is fast, but oh well. Actually, while we do that, I'm going to run to the bathroom. And it's still loading in. Surprise, surprise. Okay, we're in. We're in our Everglades section, which is pretty laggy. So let's go over here. So there's going to be one more building here, and then the Florida Keys Aquarium. Maybe we'll go right here. I think that's about where we want it to be. Alright, hopefully this doesn't lag out a ton. We're good? So let's just flatten out some areas. Because we do want this to be flat inside of here. But, oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I want to gently pull over on these edges. Actually kind of crazy that this worked as well as it did. Okay. And this perfectly gets the sun kind of in the aquarium, so this could be really cool. Could be really, really cool. So then let's grab this. Boom. So this is your entranceway to the main aquarium area. That seems fine to me. I'm not going to worry too much about the exterior walls just yet, because I want to figure those out later, because they're just a little bit more complicated than the interior, I think. Let's see, can we get this in line? Yes. Alright, then we just bring this in like so. Quite excited about this, that we can kind of fit it in so nicely. And that really does mark the outside edge of our zoo. So this is the zone that we're working for our zoo, is right here. This is it. Which we use almost a quarter of the map. Oh, and we got one more building here, so almost a quarter. Which kind of tells me that next zoo I need to work on making sure that my zoos are a little bit more spread out. This works really good for a city zoo, but it doesn't work great for a forested zoo, which is what we've done, is we've made kind of a forest zoo. So we'll have to keep that in mind next time that we build a zoo. Don't plop all the habitats back to back to back. And doing a zoo recreation is probably going to be a really good way of improving at that. That's my hope, and that's my goal. All right. So this kind of gets us into quite a nice area. Again, I still don't really know what I'm going to do on the interior wall. I also feel like this probably should be reinforced with this plaster. Just from the first bit. Feels like it would help the glass. I mean, we really don't need that. We'll just pull this up there. Um, and then we can just grab this. We'll just get these all in line. Okay, let's keep on going. I actually got a pretty decent bit done already. Let's see if we can get the coral reef tank figured out. It's gonna be tricky, that's for sure. We're gonna have to do a box here. This is the backstage. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if we can do the same thing over here. This will be turned to glass. Boom. Now we'll grab our limestone that's been nice and trusty for us to use. just do a little bit of backstage work. Doesn't even need this stuff. We're really just doing this for the sake of doing that. So then boom, boom. This is going to be marked as not a habitat perimeter. I mean, what we'll probably do is just let's see. All right, keep going. Alright, let's see about this, if we can just get a stretch in here. Something like that. Boom, boom, boom. It's that. Where's our dude? Like, that's gonna be close to 6 feet. water. Probably still fine for a coral reef, if I'd have to imagine. Not the Everglades, we want tropical. Maybe Azure even. Nah, tropical. Do we even have any fish that are supposed to go in the coral reef? By Aquatic. North America. Let me check my Excel spreadsheet. What's supposed to go in the coral reef? Angelfish. Where are speedfish supposed to go? I'm sure we have something that we're supposed to have in here. Maybe not. Do we even have anything in the Nexus? We're supposed to have in the coral reef, we're supposed to have Queen and French. Okay, so I'll have to install those. And we're supposed to have a gray angelfish. Looks like there's not a mod for the gray angelfish. But we'll put the spadefish. We'll put one of those in just to see if it will work. Oh yeah, there is no path to the destination. Alright, we'll go around that because we do definitely need to fix that up. But I'll probably fix that up off stream. Another time. We don't have much longer on this stream, but I do want to see if we can get the fish working. Might even be able to, yeah. This will be some nature here, buildings here, come down to here. Work zones, new work zone. Keys to the future. Keys to the future. Okay, staff. Y'all are getting moved. Did all of our stuff get erased from the trade center? Darn. What happened there? No, it says there's more. Okay. That was weird. That was quite weird. Okay, so now... Alright, let's try this again. In fact, before we do that, let's see if we can give him a better chance. Or I think it was actually a her. All right, let's see now. Didn't realize that we didn't have it like that. Should make it much more. Yes, 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 whatever. Here we come. All right. Let's see if we get it in here. Boom. Should drop him right there. And where can you go? Awesome. Perfect. That's really all I needed to know. Now we actually have to make this look like a coral reef. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. I don't think we have too many of the fish that I want to have in here. We've got queen angelfish and French angelfish. Not that guy. Not that guy. Nope. They have green chromis. I can probably use that for a blue chromis. And no damselfish. Okay. Yellow-tailed damselfish. I think that's what we've got. Yeah, perfect. Alright, so let's see which of these fish we got in here. Chromis. It's got the green, not the blue, but... So we can get the mod for that. There's no hogfish. Jawfish. Nope. Goby. No gobies. Beauty. Two-spined angelfish. That's not a rock beauty. And then we've got the actual angelfish in there. So, we need to figure out some coral. I'm not going to be able to do this coral reef because I don't know what corals go into the... I don't know what corals are native to the Florida Keys. So I'm going to do some research on that off the stream. So we're going to work on just sort of generic aquarium stuff. Maybe we'll work on the floor. Because I don't want to get myself into a mess with trying to get a coral reef and not using accurate coral. Because that's something that I feel like I'll get called out for. So let's see if we can get the limestone in here. Let's see, can we... Perfect. And then if we can get like... I don't know, is it this color? Yeah, something like that. We will probably work on the bird walkthrough next stream, maybe? I don't know. So tomorrow I'll try and figure out what corals are native to Key West. And the next stream will either be working on the coral reef or the touch pool / birds in there. Because I do like the idea of getting that done as well. Because that's kind of one of our centerpieces for this area. In that it's literally in the center. Let's see. Just trying to get this flooring in. If I select all of these, is it going to be nice? We'll see. Nice. And there we go. Okay, let's see. Oh, that's going to be super annoying. This is why I try and build things in a blueprint world first. Makes it a lot easier to do these sections. When everything's on the world axis. Makes it a whole lot easier. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to make this way more interesting. So I might tackle this off stream tomorrow. Because that's quite appalling, honestly. Wait. We've got a piece that is nice. Yay. Makes this significantly less brain rotting. We'll just see if we can get the main floor in here. Ooh, that's a lot of floor. Well, let's just try and go ahead and get it into position. Nice neck crack there. Could use some more water. All right. We've only got to get it all the way over there. Maybe, just maybe, if we select a bunch of these, they'll... Ha! Perfect. We'll grab all this. And we're just going to copy it across. don't want the floor making people look at it too much. We want this to be very subtle, not incredibly like doesn't catch your eye. Hopefully that makes sense. Because we want everything else inside this aquarium to do that. Weird that I gotta do it this way, but it's not the end of the world. Boom. Okay, so now we've got the floor pretty much in here completely. We might do like a whale skeleton in here, I'm not sure. That could be something fun to do. I'm trying to think of what we can do that is going to be interesting on stream. Bleh. Words. Maybe we'll make some. Well, I guess what we can do. First, let's move this here. I don't think we're gonna need it again, but. Just in case. Let's make an enclosure for our... So what species are we gonna have? We might just do it with these. I mean, it's almost assuredly that's gonna be the top of it, and then flexi color column. If there's a plain version of that, we might do it. How? It's not too bad. Right, that could be worse. Let's see. Let's see, let's just delete these. It's closer to like that. Boom. So I know for sure one of these is going to be the Caribbean giant centipede, which don't really know too much about, honestly. Giant centipede. Let's go to Pindra giganta. Let's see what species we have. Enclosure, unhoused. Caribbean giant centipede. Species. Caribbean giant centipede. Haitian Fortiques, Scolopendra alterans. Ugh. So ours can grow 20 centimeters. I don't know how large that is. Okay. Whale. Seems like it likes rocky area. Maybe even mangrove. Okay. Yeah, mangrove. But we'll do a rocky mangrove area. That's not quite gonna do it for me. I love some like dead coral looking stuff. Sand. Okay, we'll just do... Oh, they're so huge. No. Come on. Let's see. Let's see. here might be a better place for it. This one works pretty well for yeah. And then we'll have like moon jellyfish and some crabs and stuff like that. But that's all the time I've got today. Is there anyone I want to raid out to? We'll raid into them. I don't know this guy, but he looks like he's building actually pretty decently. So